You want to start us off with?
I mean, sure, I can, whatever you guys are looking for from me, I can answer any questions. Um, but I guess I'll just tell you guys a little bit kind of about why I started the podcast and my own personal experiences. So for a while, I had been struggling with my mental health through middle school. I knew that it was an issue, but I didn't really have a name for it. I'd heard of like depression and anxiety, but I didn't really know what that actually looked like. And so I was dealing with that already. And then come high school, I used to be a soccer player, and I sustained several concussions over the years, ended up with 7 total. But basically, those concussions kind of disabled me, and I was no longer able to go to school or play any sports, do extracurriculars. Pretty much my whole life just got put on pause. And at the time, I didn't even know that it was pause. I thought it was stop. So through that time, my mental health declined a lot. And it's funny because the time that I spent at home and stuff, I had chronic migraines then too after the concussions. And the time that I spent at home was very isolated and just very bleak. And it reminded me a lot of quarantine, actually. I would have described that time as basically like quarantine, except you're the only one quarantining and everyone else is still living their lives and you're still seeing it on social media and all that. So that was kind of what my life looked like for almost 2 years. And in that time too, my mental health definitely declined. I didn't have people around. I didn't really feel like I had a support system when and I did, but I just didn't feel like I had one in my head, because your mind can play a lot of tricks on you when you're dealing with mental health issues. And my depression got worse and worse. And I eventually went to my parents and told them that I didn't feel like I could keep myself safe. And I was put on a 5150, or a psychiatric hold, where I spent 3 days in a psych ward. And then several months later, I was in the hospital for a suicide attempt. But thankfully, I have, people around me, and I've developed a lot of skills to be able to deal with my mental health issues. They're not gone by any means. And I think for most people who deal with mental health issues, they don't just evaporate one day. It's not like you just wake up and they're magically gone. But it's learning how to deal with them and what you can do to set yourself up to succeed and be able to live a normal life with mental health issues. So that's kind of what inspired me to start the podcast. Was I was like, man, I've been through some stuff, but I feel like I'm really messed up. And is everyone else messed up too, or is this just me? I kind of thought I was alone in that. And so part of it started from a selfish point of view of like, can I talk to other people to see if they deal with things like this too? And I found out that they do. And pretty much everyone deals with something really hard at some point, whatever it may be. And I think we just need to talk about it more and just make it something that's normal to talk about and not stigmatized, and just part of our everyday conversations, because it's really serious, but at the same time, it's something that we can all benefit from talking about and listening to other people share their stories.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, yeah, honestly, I'm kind of thinking like, are you continuing your podcast now?
Yeah, so my plan is I'm going to school in the fall. They have said that we will be on campus. So my plan, coronavirus permitting, my plan is to continue the podcast there and be able to talk to students there, which I think will be really nice too, just because there'll be more diversity of experiences and where people are from and all that stuff. So as much as I love Los Gatos, I think it'll be really great to have some outside perspectives too.
Right.